And sorry I'm late. Where's my camera? Hi everybody. Where are we here? Sorry I'm late. My dad told me not to be late again, and I did again. I had this huge issue. Hi everybody. Good morning. I had this huge technical issue this morning. I'm having a heart attack. I'm here. Let's get started. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a good social isolation day. I hope that you're taking care of yourself. I don't want to waste any more of your time. We're going to start with a storytelling exercise today. 15 minutes every day, every Monday, every Friday, even on Good Friday. Is that what it's called? Good Friday? It's a what's so good about it, maybe you're asking. But I do want to say really quickly, just in terms of the whole Jesus narrative, that we actually... Jesus is a great example of one of the greatest stories ever told, they say. The power of a story, right? It's a story that has lasted a long, long time. It's a story that comes from other stories or whatever you believe, I don't know. But whether it's good or bad, that's your perspective. But it is the power of the story, you know? And speaking of perspective, that's the name of the activity today. I hope everything's working. Can somebody tell me, can you hear me okay? Someone in the comments might want to tell me. Anyways. Oh, good morning. Good. Okay, so what we need to do here is we're going to do an activity on perspective, a short writing activity. You're going to need paper. You're going to need pencils. Maybe get a good notebook that you love. I said this last time, but I'll say it again. I love this notebook. And it's my butterfly notebook. Today we're learning about perspectives. A good writer is able to zoom out and is able to see multiple perspectives. Is able to see things from perspectives that other people couldn't see, is able to see beyond just one person, one view, one perspective. That's part of being a good writer, is the whole picture, right? And so before we dive in, I really quickly want to just share the new charity of the day is FU COVID. It's a t-shirt company by my friend Derek. And if you look it up, 100% of sales are donated to Meals on Wheels. It's a bunch of fun t-shirts. And different other products. Ooh, I want to be able to click on it, but I can't. But I'll put the link up on the video after. So buy that t-shirt, 100% Meal on Wheels, amazing. Let's get to work with the fly cam. He's amazing, he's sleeping, he's 16 years old. Did you know that? Okay, so perspective. Where's my notes here? When we tell our own stories in our head, when we tell our own narratives, we don't often talk in first person. Sometimes we change our perspective. Sometimes I'm talking to myself as though I'm like some omnipresent person talking to myself. Sometimes I tell my story like it's a narration, like it's like I'm a character in my own story. And sometimes I talk personally first person, right? So when you're writing, sometimes when you get blocked with a character, it's often because you're trying to figure out what the character is going to say next. You're trying to push forward with the plot. You're even using the character to push forward the plot instead of going sideways, expanding the perspective, expanding what the character thinks, what the character's going through before you move forward with the plot. And that's how you show, don't tell, good perspective, good emotion. Thompson Highway is a great Canadian playwright, Indigenous playwright and novelist. And he's a great example of somebody who he really is dynamic with his perspectives. If you read like Kiss of the Fur Queen, first you're one of the young boys at the residential school, but then the perspective shifts and you're this cosmological being in the sky. Then you're the fur queen. Then you're the trees. Then you're going through the nature. Then you're a ghost running through. Then you're a spirit embodying someone. It goes on and on. He shifts perspectives and shows these really dynamic moments in somebody's life from all these different interdimensional whatever. So we're going to do a perspective exercise. What I want you to do is I want you to think about a character that you want to write about. So it could be you. It could be inspired by you. It could be a character you're already working with. It could be a character from history. It could be, sometimes if I don't have a character, but I want to do an exercise or an activity, what I'll do is I will just think of someone in my life that I want to inspire the character by, and I'll use them for the go. So think of a character, write it down. And then I also want you to think of a situation. I sound like an improv comedy show here, but think of a situation that character is going to go through. Something that character is going to experience, and a character. Character, situation. I'll give you 1 minute. Maybe I'll do a fly cam while you think of what's my character today. And it's just for today. You're not stuck how you started. He's a sleepy. I think he's got dandruff. He's got very dry skin. Who doesn't, right? Okay, so the next thing that I want you to do is I want you to You're going to write for 3 minutes, and then I'm going to tell you another thing to write. And just a reminder for people who didn't tune in last time that when you're writing right now, you're not editing. You're not in editor mode. This is the data dump. This is just putting stuff out there. So I want you to not look up at the sky and think. I don't want you to cross things out. I don't want you to erase. You're just going to write and be messy. No one's reading it but you. Messier the better. The faster the better. When you can surprise yourself when you're writing, that's a discovery. Something you didn't expect. Something that's not obvious. So what I want you to do first is I want you to think of this person, think of this situation, and for 3 minutes, no editing, I want you to write just as a narrator. So tell me the story of what's happening without once upon a time, blah, blah. Don't make it clean. Just as if you're somebody who is like a narrator telling this story. I want you to write for 3 minutes about this person and about this situation. If it's a comedy, maybe write it a little funny. If it's a drama, maybe write it dramatic. If it's superhero, write it like epic. If it's fairy tale, once upon a time, whatever. But what I want you to do, 3 minutes, I want you to narrate what happened. Just narration. What's happening. Ready, set, go. How would you describe the person? You can write in point form. You can list words. What time of day is it? What do you see? Images, emotions. You have 1 more minute. Every detail. What is the story? What happened? You're just talking about the situation. 30 more seconds. 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone stop writing. Okay, next, what I want you to do, don't even think. I know maybe you're tired from that, but keep going. This is an exercise. I want you sweating. You're going to write now. You're going to talk to the character about the situation. So maybe you're God. Maybe you're the writer. Maybe you're yourself. Maybe you're another character. You can decide who's talking, but it's as if you're writing them a letter or calling them on the phone. You're telling them about this. You're talking to the character about the situation for 3 minutes. And you can be mad, you can try different emotions out. Maybe you don't know, maybe you're surprised, maybe you know the situation. Try different things, but the idea is talking to the character about the situation. 3 minutes, ready, set, go. You're halfway there, write faster, surprise yourself. It's messy. What would you say to this character? Everything. Last minute. Thirty seconds. Oops, wrapping it up, 10 seconds. 4, 9, 8. 1. Okay, so what you've done now is you've written to the character, you've written about the character, and now you're ready to write as the character. You've got this cheat sheet in front of you. I never write on a blank page. I'm an overwriter. For me, it takes 60 pages of writing to get like one sentence that works, one line that works, one emotion that works, one idea, one image. It takes a lot. I did the iceberg, and I'll say it again. 90% of the iceberg is below the surface. 90% of your work is 10% of your work is what you show people, and you can't fake that work. There's no way to fake it. If you didn't do the sideways work, then it's just a plot-driven piece that doesn't have any emotion, any depth. So what I want you to do, you're not going to do it right now, you're going to do it on your own time, but that was your warm-up. Now you have this cheat sheet in front of you. When you feel stuck on what a character is supposed to do or say and you can't move forward, go sideways. Write about the situation. Write to the person. You can do a lot of different things with what you've just done in 6 minutes. You can make a poem out of it now. Take writing as, writing to, and then now do 3 minutes writing in the voice of the character, and then combine the 3 into a monologue or a dialogue. And you'll find it's very dynamic when you look at what a character's saying from the perspectives of what others are saying about them, from the perspective of how they would narrate that in a larger story, how you would feel about it. When you put all those perspectives in, your character's like a loaded character with a lot of intent, right? So what I want you to do is once we go today, I want you to write for 5-10 minutes as the character using all that stuff you just thought of in the last 6 minutes. Something you can do as a trick if you're feeling stuck is circle all the verbs in what you just wrote. And then put the verbs as a list and look at the journey of those verbs. Verbs are like emotion, emotion. Emotion leads to motion, right? So your verbs are kind of like very telling. Your action, what the action words say says a lot about the story. So that's a good writing prompt. You could circle all the images that came out of it. You could circle all the names that came out of it. Whatever works for you, so that when you go to that blank page, when you go today to write for 10 minutes as that character, you have a whole array of things to work from. Something I sometimes do is I'll write as the character for 3 minutes now, and then I'll combine all 3 into a poem. I'll be like, I have half a page where I'm going to combine all 3 perspectives. So that's perspective work. It's just moving sideways. It's a little simple trick. I want to remind everybody, Mondays and Fridays at 10:15, 15-minute warm-up. 5 minutes of writing a day really keeps the dramaturg away. Or, I don't know, maybe you want the dramaturg. It keeps the anxiety away. Writing is a discipline, right? It's like a treadmill. You don't just go on a treadmill and run for 6 hours. You build up your stamina. You do 5 minutes a day, 6 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, one little activity a day, right? So what you guys can do, please, is if you do end up doing that activity where you write for 5 more minutes as the character, share what you wrote on the YouTube thing. This video goes up in like 5 minutes. Playwrights Workshop Montreal really appreciates your support. I really appreciate your support. So if you did the workshop, please take 2 minutes to share the video, say what you got from the workshop, write in the comments. It's like show, don't tell, right? So show that you care about this, don't just tell. I think I'm at 14 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh my goodness, I did it. The overtalker did it. So that's all. Thank you all. Show fly one more time while we have 2 seconds. Be sure to give to the charity FU COVID. I'm going to put the link up on the website. Buy a t-shirt. Support your friends and family. I love you all. Take care. Bye. Talk to you soon.